Top TV, Truth of the People.
Thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode right here at Top TV. My name is John Matava, and on to matters of politics, we're discussing about the power plays and politics in our country. And with us in studio today is one Elias Sikulu, who is an aspirant for the senatorial part in Bungoma County. Thank you so much for coming, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm fine and fit.
Watu wa Bungoma wanasemaje?
Watu wa Bungoma wana miss proper leadership. Most of the leaders we have currently, I think in my view, they are not up to the task. Yeah.
And Mheshimiwa, those who are seeing you for the first time, who is Elias Sikulu?
Elias Sikulu is a leader. I am aspiring to be senator, the next senator for Bungoma County.
Wow.
Elias is born and brought up in Bungoma County. And I have seen leaders come and go. And I realize that this particular time there is a gap in the leadership of the county. And I think the people of Bungoma are ready for my participation, for my leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's a good decision to take. What motivated you to have such decisions for aspiring to be a senator?
At the moment, John, Bungoma County has a problem in leadership, just like I've said in my opening statement. Bungoma used to have very, very focused leaders. Bungoma, you can remember, Kenyans can remember, we have had the likes of the late Mike Wamala, the late Masinde Muliro. Those guys offered proper leadership to the county. They were visionary in their approach to leadership. They allowed the people, our people, to participate in leadership. Currently, that is that's missing. So I want to fill this missing link. I have the competence, I have the capacity, I have the will, I have the passion to do so. Yeah.
And maybe just as you continue, tell us a little bit more of your profession and how the journey has been towards becoming a senator today.
I went to a normal primary school, that's Marobo, primary school in Bungoma County. I went to Kolanya High School, Bokoli, then Kolanya High School. Did both O-level and A-level. O-level in 1985, A-level in 1987 at Kolanya High School. Then proceeded to Moi University, where I met the likes of Kina Aden Duale, who is my cohort, taking history with him. And I graduated with a Bachelor of Education degree in 1992. And in 2000, went back to Moi University again and took a postgraduate in human resource management. And therefore I have two professions. I'm professional a teacher, and I'm also a human resource management expert. I have practiced as a teacher. I've been an education officer. I've been a senior executive officer with the Judicial Service Commission, mainly based at Thika Law Courts, where I was in charge of Thika Law Courts, Katundu Law Courts, Kandara Law Courts, Yata Law Courts. That's between 2004 January to 2007. In 2007, I exited public service and joined politics.
Why?
because of passion to serve the people in a different capacity. You know, when you have something that you want the people to listen to capture, to understand, you, in our country, when you are a political leader, people tend to listen to you more than any other personality in the community. So I'm burning with a lot of ideas, a lot of experience. And so in 2007, that's what drove me. Because over the years, I've had a dream of liberating the people of Bungoma from poverty. Because that seems to be our main problem as a community. And this poverty stems from, you know, politicians coming in, posing as leaders, but actually what they are doing is contrary to the principles of leadership. There's lack of participation, especially the community. And so people do not actually understand what these people are supposed to be, to what they stand for example. Someone is speaking this today, tomorrow is speaking totally a different language. Now, so that is exactly what drove me into politics in 2007. I was a little young by then, but I felt I can serve my people better in political representation. Yeah.
So why do you think you're competent for the senatorial part in Bungoma County Camp 2022?
Thank you, John. I think that's a good question because there are so many people in Bungoma County that can fill this position, that can be senator, MP, MCA. Bungoma produces the best brains around the country. And I'm one of those best brains around the country.
What are the other counties?
One, I'm saying one of the best, a county that produces some of the best brains in the country.
Okay.
And I'm one of these guys. Best in the sense that I am sensitive to the needs of the people of Bungoma County. The current leadership seem to be blind to that fact, that they are no longer sensitive to the needs of the people, to the aspirations of the people. Theirs is to parade themselves around and pose as leaders. They want to be heard here and there, big names as usual. But when it comes to addressing the issues that are affecting the common mwananchi on the ground, there is a miss. So I believe with my good PR, because in the question of PR, I believe I'm an age ahead of so many of our leaders. And I will use the same to kind of play a pivotal role in the county leadership, right from the MCS, the MPs, governor, woman rep. So I should be at the center to make sure that, you know, when I'm talking to an MCA, he's just another good human being like me. I should not be almost at the sky and the rest of the leaders down there. You can then never even have a sharing. You can't share a table. You cannot mobilize. And by the way, I'm a smart mobilizer. So when it comes to mobilization of the local leaders, MCS, MPs, to bring these people on table so that we can have, you know, a common approach to identifying projects, identifying areas that we need to do so as to, for example, invest, attract investors, to create opportunities for the employment of our people, our children, who are suffering out there despite having very attractive certificates. Yeah.
So now, as per where you sit, are you satisfied with the leaders of your county and what they are doing?
Not all of them are sleeping on the job. There are those who are trying their best. But overall, I am not satisfied, and for quite some time, in fact over 15 years, I have never seen leadership in Bungoma County. Only recently, someone seemed to be trying so hard to offer reasonable leadership, but you know he's fought from left, right. Now, even me, as I aspire to be senator of Bungoma County, I'm awake to that fact that there are people in the county who are anti-development, and they will never want people who are development conscious to take any position of leadership in the county. These are the people that I want to confront and send home, because then they are of no value to the common person in Bungoma County. They are of no value to the youth of Bungoma County. I can tell you for free, I have never seen a leader in Bungoma County, for example, just mobilizing the youth, just to get them to a simple forum and try to address some of the issues and get these fellows sensitized on even how to do business. I have never seen that. Now, so that I think I'm better placed, and I have every moral authority to say in the strongest terms that the leaders of Bungoma County, majority of them are failures, and they need to be out of those positions.
Now, Mheshimiwa, you said they are failures. So what different are you bringing to the table?
I think the most important thing in leadership is not to come with money, buy people, and when you get into the position, you go looking for money, including being sycophant to those who have, so that you replace whatever you lost when you gave people, when you bought votes. So number one, I want to see a situation where people vote with a focused mind, where people identify leaders on the basis of their ability to reach the common mwananchi, to mobilize, and to identify with the problems of the people and seek solutions through public participation. Because the people have so many solutions to the problems they have. But if you cannot bring these people on table as a leader, you have failed before you start working. So I think what I want to bring on board is my skill of mobilization, so that I mobilize the community towards identifying our problems and looking for solutions as a team. So I want to play the teamwork. And here, we cannot hope that the public will be able to participate if leaders cannot unite, if leaders cannot speak with one voice. And for the leaders of a county to speak with one voice, to invite participatory leadership, there must be an initiator. There must be someone who initiates some process of bringing these leaders together. What I have witnessed in my county is the kind of leadership of divide and rule. Now, for how long are we going to watch? For one, I will not watch my county go down. I cannot watch our next generation destroyed when I went to school like they went to school. And I have something that I can bring on table so that we change this old narrative, this primitive way of approach to leadership. Yeah.
But again, Mheshimiwa, we've seen our leaders and the current leaders who are in position today. They come to the ground, they cry for the votes, and they really give very good manifestos. But again, when we give them the chance, what happens? So as for you, what are you expecting?
I think I've had a lot of influence when every place I've worked, when I get people on table, I always have the grace. Let me say the grace. I have the grace. When I speak to people, they quickly buy my idea. Even those who will differ with me, I honestly, 2 people, 2, 3, 10 people in a group, you don't expect that everyone will borrow your idea. But so long as like 3/4 of the people can borrow your idea, that is what finally brings about what is called unity. Those who are of the opposite view, usually, if they are the minority, they will eventually just join the train. Yeah.
Okay, great. And now, currently, we've seen political ties as well as just rumbles in the government, in the national government, that is the Jubilee and the UDA. So, as for you, which ticket are you taking for the 2022?
When I did my announcement a few, almost 2 months now, on Radio Sulwe, by then, I made a pronunciation, and the people of Bungoma County heard me so clearly. But you know, with time, you do further consultation like I have done. I've done further consultations, and at the moment, I'm advised that we wait a little before we make a stand on any political outfit on which I'll vie for the position of senator. So at the moment, I think the waters are yet to settle down. But I'm one man who, again, in leadership, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision and tell the people with your consultations here and there, tell the people you feel this is the right party, this is the right direction to take as a county. That is leadership. But I will not stand on the fence, therefore, for long. I'm not going to take long standing on the fence watching. I'm soon going to make my last statement on the way forward as far as party issue is concerned. Yes.
So as for now, the residents of Bungoma, what do they know about it?
Quite a number are aware, and they are talking about it. They know what I stand for as we speak. So that one is not a big deal. They know because I've once.
You just clearly say to the rest of the residents, you just said a few of them, right? Why do you want to have a few knowing it, but this for the sake for the county?
Can you repeat that question, please?
I'm saying, you say that you familiarized your party, your ticket, that the one you're going to have for the 2022 with just a few people. And for the sake of the county and the residents, so which one clearly do you tell them?
I'm saying in the next few weeks, I'll be able to give a final statement on that position. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much on that. Now, on the current fuel prices increment, people, we've had a blame game, the MPs and senators, and people now used to be blamed because of seeing senators blaming the MPs a few sections as well. So, what's your take on that?
It's to me, it shouldn't be a question of a blame game. It's a question of responsibility. Who is responsible for legislation? that causes some of these things to happen. For example, the fuel prices. We know very well that the MPs canvassed and they agreed to put VAT on oil products. So if there's anybody to blame, then I would blame the National Assembly. But the issue of prices of commodities, prices of food in the nation and all other things, I think I will not be the first one to say we do the blame game. No. But what is clear is, why is someone elected? Someone is elected to defend, to put the interest of the person that he represents. That is the common Wanjiku. That is the Nanjala, the common Nanjala. If I am elected to represent this person who doesn't have a voice, I must be very smart. I must stand firm on some things. I must not just play to any song. I must not just become another broker in the National Assembly when I have a big mandate to do on behalf of the common Mwananchi. Yeah.
So as for you, what do you think for the people of Bungoma County? In terms of the fuel prices, what do you tell them? Maybe when you're elected?
The issue is being addressed at Parliament level, and if I was there, I would have had a different stand, and I would not have waited for this time. Because there are cases, even if I cried blood, there are cases once they are put in law. It is very difficult to say you just wake up and condemn and reverse. There are cases that you will allow the same process, the same legal process, which starts with Parliament. So my appeal to Parliament is that they rescind their decision to and remove VAT from oil products, so that Kenyans can have a relief. Yes.
Okay, I hope you guys and people are going to get that clear. So as for you, aspirant senator in Bungoma County, what's your part for the youth?
The youth of Bungoma County, the majority, especially towards 2022 elections. The youth of Bungoma County are the majority. My message to these guys, most of whom are my friends, my sons, are all voters in the county. I want to appeal to the youth of Bungoma County to turn out in large number and register as voters.
But then the exercise is beginning this week.
Is beginning, in fact, should be today.
Yeah, sure.
Now, let the youth of Bungoma County come out in large number, because Bungoma is one of the counties where, over the years, we have always had the highest percentage of the youth not voting, because usually, and it's again the question of leadership, there are those leaders who want to maintain status quo. There are those leaders, in fact, for your information, there are those leaders who believe that the older generation should be the only ones to live up to the voting day, because they are the ones who normally vote in these people perennially. They are afraid to mobilize the younger generation to register as voters, because they think that these guys are going to come with a wave and sweep all of them out of power. So they hardly mobilize the youth to vote. And my message to the youth of Bungoma County is, one, come out in large number, register as a voter, and remember that on the voting day, you have to vote, because By voting, then you are determining your own future and the future of your children. Yeah.
So simply, for example, what are your ambitions for the youth? What are you aspiring to do for them, for that youth in Bungoma County, while they elect you as senator?
We have various categories. There are those youths who are in business. There are those who have taken various professions, and they qualify just like any other Kenyan to work either at national government or county government. What I've witnessed at county government is that, there's a lot of nepotism. There is nepotism, there is clanism, which is now a new thing that has emerged almost in all the counties. Bungoma not an exception. So I want to come in with maybe some way of handling this issue of county employment differently. Having my background as a human resource manager, officer, I think I'm better placed to advise the young people on how to go about the issues of employment, whether national or county. Now, in the business sector, I want to mobilize these guys and come with a different approach from what currently is in. And I don't want to say my strategies now. I don't want to say my strategies now. I have my strategies in place on how I'm going to handle the issue of the business sector, especially targeting the youth and women. I have strategies in place, but which I don't want to say now. I'll say at the right time, especially when I'm unveiling my manifesto to the people. Yes.
So meaning you're yet to unveil the manifesto to people?
I'm yet to do so because it's a question of timing also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much on that. And now, looking at the current stalemate in the government, is Uhuru Kenyatta losing his support in the government, or is it a matter of poor strategy planning in his succession?
Someone once described President Uhuru Kenyatta as a genius, as a political genius, and I want to believe so. I do not think that any right-thinking Kenyan can brand the current president of the Republic of Kenya as a failed president. No. What I see around is simple pretense by some leaders in some quarters who want to paint a picture of failure on the part of the president. But given position, given time that they actually hold the same position, some of them are likely to take us to the grave earlier. So I think as to the question of strategy, I want to think that he has sufficient advisors, and as far as I'm concerned, the presidency now has two people since the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. I see it as ironical for someone to stand and say he's not part of government. And tomorrow he says, we have done 2, 3, up to 10 scores of the things they have done as a government. Now, what is the message? This is what is confusing Kenyans. Because the truth of the matter is, if there is any failure, it is not just the president. Because the office of the president is under the presidency. And the presidency has two characters: the deputy president and the president. And what we know, according to the new constitution, it's clear. It's clear. So I think I don't want to speak more than that.
What are your expectations come 2022?
I expect a tough race There are those who hold the view that there are going to be two races, two horse. That 2022 is a two-horse race.
Sure.
They have even mentioned the names. But I hold a different view.
Which is?
We are likely to have even 3-4 strong presidential candidates come 2022, which is going to be a very competitive race. And in fact, there will be some surprises. Yeah, from what people think, in my view, there could be surprises come 2022. I see almost like 4 strong candidates by early next year. Yeah.
Okay, now the 2022 campaigns have begun, and politicians in different parts of the country, they've started their races. So as for you, what are you doing towards 2022?
Currently, you realize that the COVID protocols are there. So the politics of 2022 is a bit different. The approach, the way people are going to campaign, and in fact, it's better for me because, you know, I don't have the money that others have. So my main focus is the use of the social media to reach as many people as possible. I know the old mamas in the village could have a problem with that because maybe I'll reach a few of them, maybe at a time. But the youth of this nation, all of them are on social media. That is the perfect thing about the campaigns of 2022. And I have several activities on social media which are ongoing. So given the COVID protocols, I think even my strategy is different. You may not see me physically 1 or 2 places, but actually the campaign is going on and perfectly well. Yeah.
Good to hear that and to learn that as well. Now, which is that one message to the 45 million Kenyans that you would want to send that all about the revolution should be achieved in 2022?
I don't see a revolution in 2022 is as in the understanding of the word revolution. Because by revolution, you know, it has to start from the mind, from the mind. And Kenyans, I think we are so much divided at the moment, and that's why every leader is calling for unity, because they realize the country is so polarized, the country is so divided. And with that kind of thing, it's not even, we can't talk about revolution in terms of leadership of this nation. Because by revolution, every Kenyan, the 45 million, the 22 or 20 million who are maybe of age to vote should be able to come to a point where they say, now, all of us are going the same direction. That is our revolution. And it has to start with the mind. It has to start with attitude. Right now, so many Kenyans still harbor certain attitudes that, you know, someone from my tribe has to be president. So in such a case, I don't expect anything called revolution of minds and revolution of the kind of campaign, voter revolution, nothing.
But what can be done to ensure that maybe it's achieved?
I think borrowing from, what is important is to scan through all these leaders who want to be president. One, we know their history. We know revolutionary minds. Like of the 4 guys that I have in mind, around 2 of them have revolutionary minds. We have known them. They have gone around the country. They have done things that we have seen as Kenyans. Now, if one of them is elected as president, then be sure another Michuki may be in power. Another Kibaki may have an opportunity to serve Kenyans and turn things around, because in Kenya, everything is possible. In Kenya, everything is possible. If I go by what the late Michuki did in the transport industry, if I go by what the former President Kibaki did in this nation, I have no doubt that if Kenyans choose the right person with a vision and a revolutionary idea for this nation, I am sure that it will take a very short time and this nation will be talking a different language. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much on that. And just finishing up, so what do you tell the people of Bungoma County if they choose the right person?
If I think that question may be readjusted, but I think I've understood you. The people of Bungoma need to pick the right leaders in this era that we are in. The people of Bungoma need to do background check for the leaders they want to pick, to choose, to elect into office come 2022. Avoid what is called voter bribery. Avoid defining a leader in terms of how much cash he's able to carry around and dish. Because that then we are selling ourselves to these people. Tomorrow they can hawk us around the way they want, because after all, they bought us. They bought our votes. We didn't vote for them. It is high time the people of Bungoma came up with a different narrative towards identification of good leaders, and even support these leaders to make sure that they are in power so that we can realize meaningful change, so that we can realize development, so that we can realize investments in our county, so that our children can be assured of employment tomorrow.
Yeah, just I think because of time, I think we can do this conversation more time, right? Yeah, and that has been Elias Sikulu, who is a Senator aspirant in Bungoma County. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
You can follow this discussion on YouTube as well, and you can share your thoughts with us via our socials at Top TV. My name is John Matava. Please have yourself a fantastic day.